We're talking about what's happening in the 731 on the Hub City Now with your host, Tyrone Tony Reed Jr.
Hello and welcome to Hub City Now. I'm your host, Tyrone Tony Reed Jr. And today we have with us Major Jayne May, who is the one of the corps officers of the Salvation Army of Jackson.
Yes.
Thank you for being on the show today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you got here to Jackson and became part of the Salvation Army.
Well, those are a lot of questions. Let me see if I can do the Reader's Digest version. I was born in Cushing, Oklahoma.
Okay.
And my parents were involved in the Salvation Army as well. Okay. And so then when I was about 8 years old, we moved to Florida. Moved in with my grandparents for a little while and settled there. I grew up in Florida, graduated from high school in South Florida and things like that. And then as a teenager, I just felt God's call on my life to kind of follow in my family's footsteps and also be a Salvation Army officer, which includes being an ordained minister. And, you know, kind of just, I hate to say giving up my life as if it's such a tragic thing, but giving my life over to the Lord in this way, which actually opens me up now to being moved around. The Salvation Army moves their pastors around every so many years. And so that's what I've done. How I got to Jackson, this is my 13th appointment.
Okay. So you've been to 13
12 other Salvation Armies,
wow.
Right, as an officer, wow. Right. And
so that's 12 different cities.
Right.
Wow.
Right. Some of them were for short tenure. This will now become my longest appointment.
Okay.
So we're real excited about that and have the roots that we have here. My kids love going to school here, and they have great friends here. And we've had a great time. This is my 5th Christmas here in Jackson, so we're excited about all the good things. But that's kind of how I got here at the Salvation Army. Had a need here that I could fill. The Salvation Army felt that I could fill, and so I came here with my 3 kids, and then my husband joined me 2 years ago.
Okay, and your husband is Major Joseph. That's right, Major Joseph May. And tell us how you all.
Well, he's also an officer, and we both had, we had marriages that, sadly fell apart to other people, and then we just kind of came across each other, fell in love, and got married, and so here we are.
Okay. So he moved here.
Right, which is a rare thing in the Salvation Army. Usually it just works out better sometimes in our culture and everything for the wife to go and join the husband, because officers are married to other officers. Okay. Our lifestyle is such a thing that because how we're moved around and things like that, it would be unfair to a spouse to, they would never be able to get tenure at a spot or stay in any spot. They'd have to move with you. So right. We marry other officers. And so in doing that, usually the woman joins the husband, but because I had 3 children in school and my son was getting ready to graduate, they moved him here, and it's been a pretty good fit. He fits in pretty well with the rest of us here.
That's cool. That's cool. So you all met through the Salvation Army?
Yes.
Met in the Salvation Army. Okay.
Yes.
What city?
Well, it's kind of weird. We knew each other when we were younger, when we were each married to our other spouses.
Okay.
And just through the years, we've intersected every now and then, but never really got to know each other until I guess God just crossed our paths at just the right time as we needed each other.
Right. That's awesome. So what are your duties with the Salvation Army here in Jackson?
Well, my husband and I are the administrators, which means we oversee the whole operation of the Salvation Army. My husband basically takes care of all of our financial and administrative kind of business type things, HR, things like that. And then I do more of the program, social services. That's kind of how it's worked in our marriage, that we've separated that out so that we don't both have to wear all the hats.
Right.
And it suits each one of our talents. And so that works out well. When it was just me and I had to wear all those hats, it was stressful. And it's not saying that it's not stressful now, but it's less stressful to have that partnership, somebody to share that with. So yeah, we do. Like I said, my husband takes care of all of our financial, making sure we have the bills paid, making sure all of our needs are met. He makes sure that our employees are doing what they're supposed to be doing, which they always do because we've got a great team at the Salvation Army. And then I take care of our social services and our church programs. And then he preaches, I preach on occasion as well, and do Bible studies and all kinds of things. Okay.
Because I know he said he wasn't going to be able to make it because you all have something going on tonight, right?
Right. Tuesdays are our busy day at the Salvation Army. We have our after-school activities for our kids, and also it's kettle season. So we have had to shorten our youth activities so that my husband is right now picking up bell ringers and things like that. So we kind of just switch out roles. Right, in fact, I had my son drop me off. I'm carless right now. So, But that's what we're doing. So we have about 40, 50 kids that show up every Tuesday night, and we do what we call character building skills. Teach them everything from how to make a bed to how to build a rocket.
That's awesome.
We have all kinds of things, and we're hoping to instill in them some self-worth, because we believe that them believing in themselves and knowing that they're worth something in this world hopefully will keep them from gang violence, from drugs, from teen pregnancy, all of those things. I think that can be traced back to just not feeling like you belong anywhere.
Right.
And when they belong to something, it gives them worth, it gives them value. And we're hoping to counteract the culture, of drug violence and gang violence and things like that.
Right. I think a lot of people see, especially during this season, the kettles. Who does the Salvation help?
Salvation Army helps people who are in need. Okay. And we do that without discrimination. We help everybody. If we have the capabilities, if we have the resources, we'll find a way to help you. And so what we do mainly in this chapter of the Salvation Army is we help in Madison County, we help with rent. Okay. And then outside of Madison County, the 6 surrounding counties, we do rent and utility assistance. Okay. And what happens is if you have a need, then you call. We kind of do I call it triage over the phone. See if we really think that we'd be able to help you. Then we'd make an appointment. You'd come in. We'd go over your finances and things like that. And if it maybe it's something that we can't help you with financially, but maybe we could help you in laying out your budget to see where your money's going. Right. And okay, how are we going to avoid this next month so you're not in the same thing? Or sometimes it's just a matter of saying, hey, have you thought about maybe going out and mowing a few lawns or doing a couple nights of babysitting so that you can get this money that you're short on your rent? So that's kind of what we do in a nutshell. Right. Through the social services. We also have a food program. People sign up just once for the whole year, and once you sign up, then you're on our list, and you come once a month and receive a food box. Okay. So it's not an emergency food program, but a monthly, and it helps a lot of our seniors to subsidize their food stamps. Our seniors, our greatest generation, they don't get a lot, right. So we try to help them out a little bit.
Right. So. Right. And where are you all located?
We're at 125 Allen Avenue, which is down by the Oman Arena across from Masset Academic High School. Okay. It's our neighborhood.
How long has it been there? Do you know?
I cannot remember how long we've been at that place. We've been in Jackson since 1955. Okay. I understand we were in Jackson earlier, but had to close down during the Depression. Wow. And then remained closed until reopened in 1955. Okay. So we've been, probably for the last 15 years or so in this location where we are now.
Now, you said this started with your parents. Your parents were in the Salvation Army?
My great-grandparents were
so
Salvation Army
it's
officers.
a generational.
Yeah, I'm a 5th-generation officer. Wow. So it's kind of neat. It's in my blood.
How does that feel? How does it feel to know that
to me, it's normal. Okay. But it's like I wear this uniform every day, and sometimes I walk into a place and people just kind of look at me, and I'm wondering, why are they looking at me? Oh, yeah, I'm dressed funny. That's right. But to me, this is normal. I don't think of anything else. I hear other people describe things, and to me, that seems abnormal. So I think it's all in what you know, and it's a lifestyle for me that I've been raised in. So of course, it's just what I know, and it's just normal to me. So, and I love doing what I do. I love serving this way. I can't imagine doing anything else.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more with Major May about the Salvation Army and about the programs that they have and the ways you can help the Salvation Army and help those that the Salvation Army helps. We'll be right back.
This is a man. People don't know what to expect, but we'd never let the critics' perception shadow our vision of men's fashion. We live and breathe what we do. We understand the trends, the fit, your tailoring needs. For over 20 years, we have raised the bar. We are styles, the future of fashion. A man's style evokes something bigger than just the clothes he wears. It's a statement that this man is in control. It's your introduction before the handshake. Our quest is to bring men's fashion back to its roots. 1141 Van Drive in the Collins. Let us reintroduce you to the suits and accessories of brands you trust, complemented by knowledgeable staff and fine tailoring. Everything a man needs. We are Styles Menswear, the future of fashion. Call 668-6900.
welcome back to Hub City Now. I'm your host, Tyrone Tony Reed Jr., and we're back here with Major Jayne May of the Salvation Army of Jackson, Tennessee. I meant to do this in the last segment, but I wanted to read to you all the mission of the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army, an international movement, is an evangelical part of the Universal Christian Church. Its message is based on the Bible. Its ministry is motivated by the love of God. Its mission is to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and to meet human needs in His name without discrimination. I repeat, without discrimination. And that's something that I think a lot of people need to know. Many times we see people, we think, oh, well, we make preconceived notions based on how they look or how they act, but we don't know what their situation is. And as I said in previous episodes, since this is our special episodes of giving to help others, you never know when your time may come when you might be the person on the other side who needs that help. So it's best to help now, because one day you're going to need help from somebody. In some form or fashion, you'll need help. And as Christians, as people who believe in helping one another and who are called to help others, that's what we need to be doing. And helping the Salvation is a way to do that. Salvation Army is the way to do that. And as I was just talking to Major May during the break, it's not just something that you all do during Christmas.
That's right. We're here year-round. We live local. We serve local. We have things that happen all year round. I mean, we help with utilities all year round. We help with rent all year round. During the summer, we take children to sleepaway camps.
Okay.
We also, my husband, since he's been here, this was the second summer that he's done the fan drive.
What's the fan drive?
He collects fans from the community and any of the elderly or people who are sick, who just get, when the heat gets
because
so
it gets really
oppressive.
hot down here in Tennessee.
Some people, with their certain medicines or things like that, if it got too hot, especially the elderly, don't regulate, their temperature. Plus, they're trying to save pennies, so they don't turn on their air. And so, a fan really can go a long way to keep somebody not just cool but healthy over the summer. Right. So we've collected fans this summer to give to the elderly, and we call them the people who are at risk with their health as well. And so this was our second summer that we did that. And the need goes on all year round, not just at Christmas. I mean, that's what we're known for, and we're proud of that heritage. I mean, it's a great heritage that we have. But the reason we raise this money, first we pay for Christmas, and then everything that's left goes into our general budget. And it reaches, we try to make it last as long as we can, but usually by about March or April, what we've raised at Christmas is gone. Right. And so we need money all year round, and every nonprofit does.
About how much would you say you all would? I don't want people to, and don't give until it reaches the limit and then stop. Keep giving. But what do you all need in order to operate?
Our goal for Christmas is $170,000. Okay. Now, of course, it costs more than that, and I did not look up my figures before I came here to know how long, for the whole year. But to meet our budget that we've got in place for the year, we need to raise at least $170,000 through kettles at Christmas. Right. Now, if we have more, we can do more. Right. And I always tell people, if you want something done in your community, you have to vote with your dollars. Mm-hmm. If you want a shelter, you got to pony up. Right. If you want us to be doing more after school programs, that's where we need the money. If you want us to be doing more rent, doing more utilities, we need the money. Exactly. And and we'll spend it in the right way. We always honor the integrity of the gift and the donor, what they want, especially like the Angel Tree. That's one of the greatest programs. Those kids hanging on those trees, they're real kids.
How many kids do you all usually have?
We average about 300, and that's what we've got this year. We've got about 315
right here
children.
In this area?
Most of them are from Madison County.
Wow.
Yes. We have a few in the surrounding counties, but most of them are from Madison County. Wow. And those are real kids. And when you give, that gift that you give to that child is going to go to that child, because we truly want to honor the donor and the intention that they gave it in. And God blesses that. Right. We truly believe that when God, sees us being honest and doing the right thing, that He blesses that and honors that. And that's how we've made it this far.
Right. Now I want to ask you this question concerning the tree, because that's amazing that there's so many kids on the tree. Mm-hmm. Is there ever a year that you all have kids on that tree who don't get sponsored?
Once we make the commitment to that family that we're helping them, they're going to get helped.
Okay.
when they're hanging on the angel tree, somebody takes their name and buys for them. My goal is that they have at least 3 gifts, and then if they were bought for a clothes coat, if it was bought for them, or if I can find some in the extras to match, I try to do that as well. But at least 3 gifts. I try to make sure every child has. If it doesn't come through the tree, our second option is for people to drop off. Maybe you can't get to the tree, or maybe you just don't feel like shopping for a kid. Go buy a couple Barbie dolls, a couple basketballs, drop them off, because I can give them to a kid who maybe their angel wasn't returned. Somebody just forgot. Life happens.
Right.
Or maybe somebody just bought clothes because they know how much a kid really, really needs clothes, but I also need to give them some toys.
Right.
So maybe if they bring the toys, you've partnered with somebody else now to
Right.
help one child. And so those are things that you can do, but every child that we have committed to will receive help. That's why the money goes in the pot. We take care of Christmas, and then it goes into the rest of the year.
Right. Okay. How does it feel when those gifts are given, when you see that happen for those children?
Well, first of all, the generosity of the donors. I mean, I know what it's like to buy Christmas for your own children. I mean, I have 3 children. I know that that's an expense. And then on top of that, to donate to another child that you don't even know. The generosity of the donors is amazing. Last year, somebody got a whole basketball goal. Oh, my gosh. It was amazing. But then when you see the parents come to receive those gifts on the day, we do a drive-through service. They come through, they get a food box, and then they get their toys, and we're putting them in their car, and the hugs and the tears and the jubilation, all of that, it just goes in. That's what makes Christmas for me. You talked earlier about, how does that make you feel? Right. This is my normal. This is my Christmas. Right. Even my oldest son, he's taking off work to make sure he's there on the 21st to help with distribution day, because awesome. That's his favorite day of the year. Right. And that's just what we do. But it's on both sides, to see the donors giving and to see the recipients getting. It's a beautiful thing, and I get to be the middleman. Right. And that that's how God has blessed us. So I get to be the instrument.
That's right. That's right. We're supposed to be His tools. We're supposed to. I mean, a lot of people. There's a saying that sometimes for some people the only God they'll ever see is the God in you, and that's what we're supposed to be doing, helping people. So when we come back, we're going to tell you how you can help, because it's your turn now. It's your turn to help these people. Help Salvation Army reach people. Because there are people who are hurting, there are people who are alone, there are people who are trying to figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to make it. And hey, the Christmas tree, I'm sure that every Salvation Army probably does the trees.
Pretty much every Salvation Army does an angel tree almost.
Go out and help out in that aspect too, and don't just do it during Christmas. They're open all year long, so you can help out in many ways. And we're going to come back and tell you how you can do that. We'll be right back.
Depend on your tires. Let R&R Tire Express keep you on the road and safe with a complete set of new tires from the brands you trust, starting as low as $16 per week with our pay-as-you-go program. Choose easy payment options, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, and at R&R, complete installation with lifetime rotating balance, flat repair, and 12 months 24-hour roadside assistance is absolutely free. Only at R&R Tire Express.
Hello and welcome back to Hub City Now. I'm your host, Tyrone Tony Reed Jr., and we're here again with Major Jayne May, who is with the Salvation Army of Jackson, Tennessee. And we're going to tell you how you can help the Salvation Army here in Jackson and the United States. If you don't live here because you're watching on the internet, you can donate at your Salvation Army. There's an easy way to do that. Of course, I should know, and I'm trying to find that now. But let's give you the information for Jackson, Tennessee right now. It's salvationarmytennessee.org/Jackson. You can mail in your donations to the Salvation Army, P.O. Box 486, Jackson, Tennessee 38302. What other ways can they give?
Of course, you can stop by a Red Kettle in any location, whether you're in Jackson or surrounding counties or wherever you are in the United States. If you see a Red Kettle, we pretty much all do the same work. I mean, there are some communities that have shelters, and there are some communities that have thrift stores and boys and girls clubs and daycares and things like that. So anywhere you are, you can put your money in the red kettle, and it stays local in that area.
What do we have? Do we just have 125 Allen, or do we
right.
have? Okay, that's all.
We have 125 Allen, and we do mainly social services and church programs there.
Okay.
Like I've said before, if you want more from the Salvation Army, you put up the money, we'll put up the program.
Right.
So there you go.
right. And if you live in another part of, if you don't live here in Jackson, Tennessee, you can go to www.salvationarmyusa.org and type in the zip code that you live in, and you'll find out the Salvation Army that's in your area, and you can give and donate that way. And you mentioned the history of your family. You don't have to go into too much detail, but just tell us. You said you're fifth generation
Right.
Salvation Army.
Right.
Just take us down the line of who was who in the Salvation Army in your family.
Well, I'm a fifth generation Salvationist. My great grandparents, were Salvation Army officers. My great grandfather also fought in World War I. And we came back. Back then they didn't know about post traumatic stress syndrome, and a lot of soldiers that came back from World War I, they called them the lost generation, and he was a part of that. And, sadly, committed suicide. But his generations come on down. I mean, here I am, a product of his life and his legacy.
Right.
Even in the middle of sadness, God helps us all to rise. And so I've got a very godly heritage through the Salvation Army, because as an officer, I'm a pastor as well, and that's what I wear first. I do everything I do. Everything I do is to bring people closer to Christ.
Right.
And so even when I'm helping you with a food box, or I'm helping a kid tie a shoe, it's to show the love of Jesus.
Right.
And so that's how I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was brought up in, and so that's very normal, very common for me. So, but just basically, because I've been in the Salvation Army for so long, to say where are you from? My roots are all over the southeastern United States.
Right,
So that's kind of what happens there.
Right. And from your great grandfather, then it went to your.
My great grandparents were Salvation Army officers.
And is this all on your mother's side or your
on
father's
my mother's side? On
Okay.
my father's side, my grandparents weren't officers, but they did go to the Salvation Army as their church.
You were
and then-
destined.
Right, exactly. Well, my mother and father met at the Salvation Army Seminary. So, there you go. So that's how it happens. Sometimes we send them in single and they come out. Hopefully they match them up while they're in there. So.
Well, is there anything you would like to say to the viewers about the Salvation Army and why they should help?
Well, the Salvation Army in your community needs your help. We need your money, point blank. With your money, then we can help build families. We can help build lives. We try to reach out to every member of the family. I mentioned we have a church, and our church isn't any better than any other church, but our church does meet a specific need. People who are usually need the smaller group setting, because we're not a big church. We average about 40 on Sunday. And then during the week, we have our character building groups for kids, 18 and below, down from 4 up to 18. And then on Thursday nights, we have like kind of our adult night, where we have a meeting for women and for men, because sometimes girls just need to be with girls and guys just need to hang with guys.
Right.
And we have programs that meet those needs. We have Bible study. And everything we do is with the hope that we're going to reach the family. We truly believe in a holistic healing for a family, and that when the whole family knows Christ, that they will be successful. You've probably seen it in your own churches where husbands and wives don't go to church together. One of them stays home and one of them drags the kids.
Right.
And eventually the kids are torn. Who do I follow, mom or dad? But when everybody's together, especially the man, I mean, we truly believe that Satan has gone after men like nobody's business. And we see that now. We see, I think that's where gangs come from.
Right.
That's where drug use, because daddies aren't home where they should be, and now he's attacking moms. And so we want to counteract that. And so everything you do, I'm helping with the light bill, helping with the rent, keeping families together and in their homes. It goes a long way to heal a family. And when this is done with love and with compassion, the hope is then that they say Jesus.
Right.
That was our founder, was that one of his famous mottos is soup, soap, and salvation. Because when a man's tummy is empty and he's dirty and filthy, he can't think about hearing about Jesus.
Right.
So if we can meet their physical needs, then we can meet their spiritual needs. And that's how the Salvation Army has operated for over 100 years.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. We appreciate you coming out. And we like to invite everybody who's watching to help your Salvation Army, because they need your help. They need your assistance. And as I have said previous episodes on our giving episodes that we've been doing, you never know when you might be the one who needs help. We live, our lives change throughout the years. You never know when you might be the one who needs some assistance. So it's good to give now, and because you may need help later. So go to salvationarmytennessee.org/Jackson if you live here in Jackson, Tennessee. If you live anywhere else in the United States, if you're watching this, go to www.salvationarmyusa.org. There's also a Salvation Army International. Mm-hmm. I don't have that, but you can go online and look that up. And if you're overseas or in another country, you can also help the Salvation Army. There are many ways to do that. There are many ways, and hey, we need more programs. There are people who need more programs, need more assistance. Hey, give to the Salvation Army so they can expand their territory and reach other people. Again, you can donate online, or you can, here in Jackson, you can mail your donations to the Salvation Army, P.O. Box 486, Jackson, Tennessee 38302. You're also located again where?
125 Allen, down by the Omen Arena. Excuse me. I was
Okay.
going to say Omni. That's all right.
So you can go there, but help out. It's not just for Christmas. Sometimes you have to go and help throughout the year. The kettlebell might not be there in January or March or June, but you can go online and donate anytime. If you can go to the movies, if you can go just free and do whatever you want to do, you can help out $10, $15, $25. It doesn't take much. Just help when you can, and how you can, and volunteer. I'm sure they need volunteer services. So just give any way that you can. And so we thank you again for being with us. We'd also like to thank our sponsors, Baskerville's Funeral Home, R&R Custom Wheels and Tires, Styles Menswear, and the City of Brownsville. This has been the Hub City Now with Tyrone Tony Reed Jr. I'm happy to be here with you all, and I'm glad you all tuned in to watch. Share this video. Go back and watch the old shows and share those videos and spread the word and help others, because we need each other. You all have a great, great day, and God bless you all.